Hi, I'm Sensei Chris Leventis from the Academy of Self-Defense in Newport Richey, Florida, and welcome back to our solo training series focusing on classical technique. So far in the second set, we've done the pivot, takedown, hold down, we've done the peel off, now we're going to head on into the lift up. Okay? So the lift up is another one that's the same side grip, and again this is a wrist technique. I'll demonstrate it first from a few angles and then we'll go through the details. Okay, so you've noticed when I started the technique, I actually took my feet from a shizentai into a little bit shorter position. And in this particular case, the uke is going to be more than one arm length away from me, and I'm going to have them put their feet slightly wider. Again, classical technique is the blueprint. We're setting ourselves up for success to teach the foundations of the technique. Okay, so you have to understand that. So as the nage, I want to set myself up as successfully as possible. Okay? And of course, when we get into application practice, which is all the realistic components come in, the combative components, that's when we can start to talk about details of, changing angles, changing approach a technique to facilitate any kind of change or to address any kind of change in the situation while it's live. Okay, hope that makes sense. Again, classical technique is supposed to be from its most efficient form, setting ourselves up for success. Okay, so with that spirit, I'm here. Now, the first step is a hanmi. Now, I always allow my students a little deeper hanmi. I want to get nice and deep and have a big base on this one. So, as I step, I want to step in deep and low. Not so deep that it becomes an extended hanmi. I'm still in a hanmi. This back knee's kicked out. I'm still in the hanmi, but a little bit deeper than normal so I can get lower. That's the whole point of this. I want to get lower than the uke's wrist. Okay, so when I'm here, as I step at the same time, remember they're grabbing me same side, think about diving into the water, right? Instead of two hands, I'm using one hand. And sometimes I'll let students use two hands just to accentuate. I'll have them come in, put them together like a praying position. I'll have them step in and come in this way. I don't allow that later on, but in the beginning it helps them understand the dive. So you don't have to do that, just something, a teaching tool I use. So we're here. I won't do that this time, but step in deep, dive into the water, which turns the uke's arm and exposes the hand in the correct position. So as I dive in, and underneath, this hand is doing this. And think of it as a Tai Chi move. That's why I tell students it's kind of like the energy ball, kind of reverse energy ball, Tai Chi move. So as I'm here, this grabs between the wrist and the elbow. I don't grab the elbow, I don't go above the elbow, I don't go by the wrist. Midway, maybe closer to the elbow, but not on it. Kind of anywhere here, okay? Just to give you adequate leverage to pull the uke over. So as I'm here, this twists and gets the uke's hand to do this. There's our wrist lock, okay? So I want to roll over as close to the edge of the fingertips without risking it sliding off the fingertips. So there's a little bit of a sensitivity thing, there's a fine line, right? So I'm here, dive low, roll on the fingertips. At the same time as I roll, I push the uke's forearm forward. So at the same time as this is pushing forward, you're getting the uke to fall over their own wrist. That's the key to this one. Remember, on this one, you're just a guide. You're guiding the technique or the uke into a perfect position for them to get into pain. Okay. So as I roll on the fingertips, I pull the uke towards me and I roll on the fingertips. And as I do that, I gently rise to get the extra little oomph I need for that technique. The extra little hot sauce, right? So the uke should be doing this. Oh, okay? They should be fighting to fall back to get out of the pain because you're leveraging them into that pain position. Okay, so one more time. Dive, low. Roll on the fingertips as you pull the uke towards you and slight lift. Just a slight lift to get the little extra pain on the wrist lock. Okay? This is one, it's interesting because the classical, although you're using the same, technique on the hand, it teaches the student from a different perspective, if you will. When you show the applications, like the unbendable arm, where the applications make more sense, so do the applications on this one, once you get past the classical. But again, it teaches you those important points of the stance, the leverage point, the pain point. It's a solid, solid technique. Hope you enjoy it.